Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's from the Bleachers, broadcasting live from the Findlay Hyundai studio. It's Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Well, Mark, it's a snowy Tuesday for us here in southern Utah. That's kind of a weird change of pace, huh?
Mother Nature is so schizophrenic right now. I was outside for a bit early this afternoon. The sun would come out, then it would start snowing. Then the sun would come out, feel like spring, and then it'd be snowing again. It is so weird out there right now. And does Mother Nature not know that we have baseball tonight? Does she not know that it's Region 10 baseball?
She must not care.
Oh, she is a... Well, never mind.
Yeah, don't
She's
go there.
She's a schizophrenic.
Don't go there.
She is schizophrenic right now. Yeah, it is some weird weather right now. And, you know, if you pull up your weather app, it's supposed to go up like 5 degrees every day this week. And then, next week, we're going to be mid-80s.
Yeah.
85, 86, 87. We're going to be pushing 90.
It's a lot. It's a big jump is what
I'm totally ready for it, though. I am tired of cold baseball. I'm tired of cold walks, cold pickleball, cold golf. I'm tired of that. I am ready to sweat.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm right there with you. I've told you too, because I've said, man, I want to get out on a golf course, but I'm not the kind of person to go out there and schedule a tee time and just say, hey, it could be 60, it could be 30.
Yeah.
Guess we'll find out. I'm not that kind of person. Can't do it. Can't do it.
I know. I'm ready for it, dude.
And the problem with the weather lately has been like, you look at a forecast and you'll be like, okay, Saturday, probably not great. Sunday looks to be a little bit better. And then by the time Sunday rolls around, it's like, oh, yeah, that storm from Saturday, it's grown and it's going to be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday now.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just, you can't predict anything with spring weather in Utah.
For sure. Yeah. So let's see, today's Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be 84 degrees and mostly sunny. That sounds.
Well, there you go. That sounds wonderful.
That
Let's
sounds
get out there.
Nice. That sounds
Let's get outside.
Really nice. Thursday in 2 days is going to be 63 and sunny. I know we're not the weather channel. We are actually a sports channel, but definitely weather comes into play with sports. So for sure, Thursday, like I said, 63 and sunny. Friday, 71. Partly cloudy, but there's still a lot of sun. 75 for Saturday, 81 Sunday, 84 Monday. That's looking nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for that, Caden.
Me too.
Because how many inches of snow do you have in your front yard?
Well, it was 0 until yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's a couple.
Couple inches.
It's a couple.
Man, we got to report.
More than I would like for April. That's for sure.
We got a report from Cedar City, and just a little news, breaking news as well. So Desert Hills is playing Cedar this week in baseball and softball.
Yep.
At the end of last week, they went ahead and did the home and home swap. So originally, tonight, Desert Hills was supposed to be in Cedar. They made the change late last week that they're going to swap that. So Cedar would come down to Desert Hills and play tonight. And on Thursday, weather permitting, they would go up to Cedar and play their games up there. Well, weather is not permitting. They've already made the decision. Their AD up there said they have 10 inches of snow on their lawn, on their baseball and softball fields right now. So they've already made the decision that both of those games will be held down here at Desert Hills. So both Tuesday and Thursday. There will be one night, it'll be Thursday night, that Cedar will be the quote-unquote home team, but it will be played at Desert Hills.
Right.
So just FYI, don't go up to Cedar looking for a game because you won't find one.
Yeah, at all. What you'll find is mounds of snow.
Mounds of snow.
That's what you're going to find in Cedar, is a lot of snow. It's probably for the best, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
We just move it on up the road.
I feel
this way.
bad for them, though, and I don't feel bad for Cedar often, okay? But
it's fair.
I do feel a little bad for them. They have not had any home games yet this year, baseball or softball. They've had to move their games down here to whoever they're playing. They haven't had a home game yet. Obviously, we talked about it yesterday. Doubt that they can't practice either. They can't do ground balls and all that kind of stuff on their field, so they're not getting that practice in. They've had one home game that they were able to host here in the springtime, and that was one soccer game. One soccer game is all they've been able to host so far. So
It's not a lot.
I do feel bad for them a little bit, Caden.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a fun time for them. It's not fun at all. I was just pulling up weather to see what like their 10-day forecast looks like. It's taking a while to load in.
Next
here.
week
Okay.
it looks better.
So next week, Monday, Tuesday, it's supposed to be in the 70s.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. After, well, they have a chance of some water over the next couple of days, but pretty small chance. Yeah, it should be okay by Monday, Tuesday. The problem is then the wind picks up like crazy, and you're gonna see 20-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, wind you can play in.
You can play in wind.
You can
it's
host
not fun.
Yeah, it's not fun.
But you can.
Man, I watched the highlights to the Dodger game last night.
I watched the Dodger game last night.
Did you see the high winds that they were having to deal with?
That flag was just sticking straight from the pole. It was crazy.
They said that talking to people that have been going to Dodger games for years upon years, when I say years, I'm talking 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
This is the most wind that they've seen at Dodger Stadium in a very, very long time. So the wind was blowing pretty much across the West Coast.
And they were still finding ways to get home runs.
Yeah.
They had the inning. I tuned in later because I tuned in after the national championship game. We'll get to that too.
Yeah.
I tuned in after the national championship game, and the Rockies were up 4-2.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
in that inning, all of a sudden it was like a 9-4 game because the Dodgers just put on 7 runs or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact score because I was kind of half paying attention.
Sure.
It was at that point where I was like, all right, one game's over. Let's see what else is on TV.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, that was a good inning for them. The wind didn't affect them too much, but it is what's interesting about that. Again, this is just part of baseball. Is you hit a pop fly, and it just moves. It sails.
Yeah.
There was one where it even hit the guy's glove, but he had to chase it further down than he thought he had to. And by the time he got to it, he was just out of steam. He was ready to put on the brakes somewhere else, and he just kept on having to go and go and go. And by the time it got to him, he wasn't ready for it. Touched the glove, but wasn't able to bring it in.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was an interesting game. But yeah, so much to talk about today because there is a lot that's happened. There's a lot that's happening tonight. We have Region 10 baseball and softball and soccer all going on tonight. We had a lot of big stuff happening last night, and really this whole opening week of baseball is still a lot of fun and lots of storylines there. So if we can somehow manage, we're going to try to get it all in today in the show. It's going to be fun.
Yes. Yeah, big show. A lot of content for sure.
Lots
to talk about.
Let's start with the national championship game, but I don't want to talk about the game itself quite yet. What I do want to talk about are the people that have won our grand prizes.
Oh, yeah.
First off, you have the bracket challenge. Yale Morby picked UConn to go all the way to the end. He's taken home $995. So congrats to Yale Morby for that. And then today, Devin and I went through and we got our list together of all of our different winners for the bracket, or not for the bracket challenge, for the fan challenge.
Yeah.
So we have that happened this week as well. Brett Warnick is the big winner of the Traeger.
Brett Warnick, congratulations, my man.
And of course, Ray Salas had San Diego State. He was connected to them, so of course he's a big winner as well. Any of those that made it to the Elite Eight, Final Four, you guys are getting some big major prize packages.
Yeah, good stuff.
You Sweet 16ers, you're still getting some good stuff for sure. And if you were either a 16 seed or if you made it through the first round and into the second, you're at least walking away with the Dixie Direct book.
Yeah.
So
So sorry for you guys that had Purdue. You don't get anything.
Yeah, I know it's funny.
You didn't win the
because
first round, and you didn't.
You have like those people that had Princeton, or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's like you got lucky. That 15th seed is not a good seed to have normally because you're probably not walking away with anything. And there's 115 seed that walked away. And the thing is, though, is that was a team that won a few rounds. Princeton won a couple. So you think you're going away with nothing, and now all of a sudden you're walking away with a handful of prizes. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. So, anyways, we have a list up at our front desk. Just for fun, I'll give you the list of all of our different winners here, shall we?
I think that's definitely something of note that we should throw out there.
So big congrats to these people. And if I do call your name and you participated, of course, your prize is now going to be available starting tomorrow up at the front desk here at Canyon Media. So we had Amber Nelson, Bobby Robledo, Brad Barbin, Braden Clark, Brett Warnick, of course, the big winner, Bryson Anderson, Chris Jasper, Claire Jones, Craig Loveland, Dale Brewster, Dallas Hezekiah, Dalton Smith, Danny Garcia, Dave Curl. Dave Curl, one of those that made it into the Elite Eight. So that's a good chunk of prizes right there. Dennis Vallejos. That's one of our Final Four guys. Devin Shelley, Eric Andra, Gene Blair, George Hodge, Joe Soto, Kelly Smith, Kylan Osborne, Lynn Harris, Matt Jameson, Milt, another Final Four, Ray Salas, against San Diego State, so he got into the top 2. Ruben Pickering, Robert Beecher, Skylar Gleave, Sue Olson, Tony Polu, Tracy Orton, Trent Bundy, and Tyler Prisery. Those are all of the people that at least won something.
Yeah.
So if your name is in that list, of course, come on over to Canyon Media. We got a prize for you.
Or if you know somebody that we just named off and you think, well, maybe they might not know, make sure you let them know.
And we're going to send them. We haven't yet, but we'll make sure to send them a message.
Yeah.
We'll send them a text or something on our text line just saying, hey, congrats. You guys are all the people that won stuff. So we'll let them know as well. But everyone loves the good radio shout out as well. So.
And Caden, we are still giving things out.
Mm-hmm.
This week, the Masters. So you can send your Masters fantasy foursome. You pick any 4 golfers at the Masters. You text them. You can pick the top 4 players in the world. You can pick all 4 live players. You can pick all 4, whatever you want to pick. Text them to our text line at 435-990-9950, and you will be entered in to win some golf. We've got a foursome at Coral Canyon. We've got all kinds of golf to give away. Let me just put it that way. But our grand prize winner will be a foursome at Coral Canyon, plus some other prizes as well that we haven't fully gotten worked out, but we certainly will. But it'll be definitely worth just sending in 4 golfers to our text line, 435-990-9950. Get involved in the Masters. This is one of the best weekends of the year, bar none.
For sure. When you send that in, make sure to text us your name as well so we know who is picking what. We don't know you just based off of your phone number. So send us their 4 names and then make sure to differentiate because, you might throw your name in there and we'll say, I don't know who this golfer is. Just make sure we know that person is you.
Have it in by the end of Wednesday evening because once the first tee shot goes off on Thursday morning, boom, it's done.
Yep.
It's closed. So
make it off.
Make sure you get it in today or tomorrow and you're safe.
Yeah. So we got some Masters to talk about. So we will talk about some Masters stuff going on. We'll talk about that later today. But let's backtrack a little bit, I guess, here. Back to the action from last night. UConn gets the win over San Diego State. And I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of that game, Mark, but it was really a hot start from San Diego State for the first couple of minutes.
Right.
And then UConn just takes over.
Yeah.
San Diego State makes a run in the second half, gets kind of close, and then UConn just kind of easily closing it out. They made it look real simple. And UConn, When we were talking about the Elite Eight and how many teams had already won a championship and there were so few, I was like, man, there's a good possibility that we won't see one of those teams make it through. Well, UConn defied all the odds and they made it through and won the championship. Again, they won back in 2014, so it was a 9-year gap, I guess, between wins. And they're back in the driver's seat now as national champions.
Yeah, both Tristan Newton for UConn and Adama Sanogo, they had games last night, both of them with double-doubles. Newton had 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Sanogo had 17 points and 10 rebounds as well. So 2 really good games by 2 of the Huskies. San Diego State, congrats to them. I mean, my goodness, a 5th seed that has really no history of any type of a basketball program that has challenged, Sweet 16, Elite 8 status. So congrats to them making the finals. My goodness. Lamont Butler with 13, Darian Trammell with 13, Kashad Johnson with 14. They had some nice players last night. It just wasn't enough for the 4-seeded UConn. Again, UConn, probably a low seed normally from them. I mean, they're one of the blue blood programs. I would definitely put them in either tier 1 or tier 2 of those blue blood programs. In fact, they had a 4 seed was probably a little low for them. That's probably not what their goal was when they first started their basketball season. But yeah, great bracket, great March Madness. My goodness, I've never seen so much madness in March.
Yeah, it's insane. I look up San Diego State's different bids at the NCAA tournament. The last time they were in it was 2018 as an 11 seed. Mm-hmm. So this is their first time back since then as an 11 seed. They've only been there a handful of times. I'm looking at about maybe 10 times. And so they went in 1985, jumped to 2002, 06, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. They had a great run there. Skip a couple years to 18, and now, again, they're back again. The best that they have done up until this point, where they make it to the final game, was the Sweet 16.
Okay. Yeah, so like I said,
so them making it to the Elite Eight, fans were probably ecstatic to say, hey, we made it further than we've ever made it before.
Yeah.
And then for them to go on and actually get to the final game, that's a lot for a fan base to try to just soak it all in. You have to be so proud of your team. It's horrible that they, for that fan base, right, to not see them walk away with the championship. But you have to be proud of what they accomplished.
I was going to say, I don't think any San Diego State Aztec fan is down in the dumps today.
They have to be very happy. They have to be proud.
During the game, you want to become greedy and you want to win a championship, obviously. But when the final whistle blows, the final buzzer goes off. Remember that from
Grown Ups?
Yeah. When that final buzzer goes off, there has to be a sense of proudness for your team. Again, never getting to the Final Four, never getting to the Elite Eight, getting to the Sweet 16 once. Mm-hmm. That's nice job, San Diego State. And nice job, UConn. Again, number 4
don't
seed.
discredit UConn.
4 seed wasn't expected to, probably go much farther than the Sweet 16. Congrats to them.
For sure.
So, yeah, it was this was probably, and we talked about this going into the bracket play, into March Madness. We talked about how open it was and that this could be one of the craziest, most madness that we've ever seen. And it was.
It
no
really was.
question.
It really was. And what's funny, you know me, you know that I can be kind of a statistics kind of guy.
Yes.
I really like the math behind it.
A little nerdy.
I'm a little nerdy. I'm wearing the glasses today,
Yes,
just to prove the nerdiness. The thing that I really liked about this year coming into it was looking at last year and thinking, all right, it was all 1 seeds last year.
Yeah.
That is, as likely as it is for 1 seeds to make it and win it, because it does happen most often. The winner is a 1 seed.
Yeah.
That is true. I was like, all right, last year was all 1 seeds. This year, it's way more likely now to have it mixed up a little bit. Not as many 1 seeds, just because that's just how it goes. You know, you flip a coin that many times, you're not going to have all tails in the Final Four, right? So it was kind of fun going into it. I was like, I feel like this one is just bound to be exciting. It really was. Who knew you'd have your Princetons on one side,
right.
your FAUs. I know, even your Miami and UConn towards the end of the Final Four. I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Kansas and Houston like everyone was expecting. Texas, Gonzaga, UCLA, all these great teams that were on the Midwest and the West brackets. None of them made it. It was crazy.
I thought I was kind of going out on a limb when I had a 1 and a 3 in the finals, because I had Gonzaga playing Alabama. I thought, oh, man, a 3 seed? Yeah, I feel good about that. Well, now, my goodness. Now, this is what's going to be fun next year as we're leading into March Madness.
You're going to see way more 4 seed, 5 seeds in the Final Four.
Yes, you are, for sure. Everybody's bracket next year is going to be just totally weird. And then it's going to go back to probably all the number 1 seeds.
Yeah, it's going to be some 1s and 2s in there.
Exactly.
That's all it's going to be.
What a crazy year! What a great March Madness! I tell you, I've never seen anything like that before.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Since I've seen one that was that all over the place.
Yeah.
Last year, remember, it kind of started that way, and then it dwindled down to just being a bunch of the top schools left, and we were like. And, we even made comment, this is probably what the fans want to see.
It's what I want to see.
Because they want to see the teams that are really the best teams in the end.
That's me.
But, this year was one of those that I want to see. Because I'm the kind of fan where I don't really have a set school, at least not one that was in the tournament, not one that was there, right?
But are you going to be excited over an FAU game in Princeton?
A little bit, just because I know it's all chaos. Whichever one wins, it's all chaos.
See, not me.
No, I'm not one that I would travel to go to that game, obviously, because I don't care about either of those schools. And that's the other thing, too. They're playing these games in football stadiums. They have to pack those stadiums, so they better be teams that are going to bring fan bases with them.
As cool as it was to see San Diego State and UConn in the finals, I don't want that to be an every year type of deal. I would have been ecstatic to see Bama versus Kansas this year, or Gonzaga versus Houston. I know they were on the same side of the bracket, but you get what I'm saying. I don't want to see 4, 5, and 6 seeds and 9 seeds in the Final Four. I just don't.
Sure.
I just don't.
Sure.
Although, again, being that it was San Diego State, West Coast, I have some really good friends that are really fanatics when it comes to San Diego State.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. If it would have been an East Coast team, though, that was a 5 seed, I don't know, name it.
Well,
I don't even want to name it. I wouldn't have been nearly as excited.
Just say if FAU would have made it through.
Yeah.
If FAU would have beat San Diego State instead, and it was FAU against UConn.
My interest level would have dropped. Oh, totally.
I couldn't name you a single FAU fan.
No.
I didn't even know the school existed until this year.
Nobody did.
So, I mean, every so often you have those people who just know every single Division I college.
Right.
I'm not one of those people.
No, me neither.
I know someone that is one of those people, and you could pull up a list of any Division I school and name the school, and he'll just tell you what the mascot is, and it's impressive because you'll just be like, all right, Southern Illinois Academy for the Arts, and he'll just be like, the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
I don't even know that's a real college. I just kind of made one up.
That's good.
But it's insane. Some people are that way. I'm not. I don't know who FAU is. I learned about them this year.
Me too. As did 95% of America.
Yeah, because I just don't care.
Cool run.
Great run.
I'd love to see that to the Sweet 16. But after that, that's when I don't want upsets to happen. I want it to kind of go chalk. I want the blue blood programs in there, and that's just me.
And it'd be very similar if SUU or Utah Tech made a run. People would be like, I know BYU, I know Utah. Heck, I even know Utah State.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily know some of our smaller schools here in Utah.
No.
Especially back east, right? Not everyone knows those.
They don't know SUU and Utah Tech.
And even though we in this area, we know some of those smaller schools. We know Northern Arizona University. Yeah. We know some of those, right? It's like not everyone does.
Yeah.
Grand Canyon made it in, and some people were like, Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
It's in Phoenix. What? There are people in southern Utah that I was talking to that when Grand Canyon made it in from the WAC, they're like, I don't even know who Grand Canyon is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, And like, yeah, they play here all the time in Southern Utah because they're part of the WAC. So,
Yep.
It's just how it goes. All right, let's take a break. We have a lot more to get to, of course. Coming up, we're going to be talking about Region 10 baseball, softball, and soccer. Let's get those schedules coming up next, so stick around.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Hello and welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers, Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
So Region 10, athletics, all sorts of different stuff going on tonight. Let's break down the schedules and look forward to some of those games going on here on this weird, snowy, cold. I hope it's not too cold tonight for some of these games.
Well,
it's a weird day.
It kind of sucks if you're not the PA announcer.
Oh yeah, you're up there like I'm up in a heated booth. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm up in 70-degree temperature, so I'm good.
Yeah, last week when I was at that game,
that looked so cold down there.
It was cold down there. We did have a little heater that was sitting in between us, and I just kept reaching my hands back to like warm them up. But I was keeping the book, so I didn't have any gloves or anything, so my hands were out keeping a book, and
I have to say I felt just a tiny bit bad for you guys.
And it really wasn't that bad. It was okay. It turned out to be decent.
I'll tell you what, yeah, it's there's definitely times where being the announcer pays off, and when it's cold like tonight is definitely one of those nights. But yes, we have a full Region 10 schedule going on. First off, Hurricane has the bye, but they do have a game. Moapa Valley is going to come up and play the Tigers. So keep an eye out for that. A little bit of an earlier start, too. That's a 5 o'clock start, so that's starting fairly soon. Cedar, now for softball, Cedar at Desert Hills. Now, again, baseball is the same schedule, just a 7:30 first pitch. But Cedar at Desert Hills, Snow Canyon at Crimson Cliffs, and Pineview at Dixie.
Now you can catch Crimson Cliff Snow Canyon game right here on the Fan Sports Network. So again, 7:30. Make sure you're tuning in here to the Fan Sports Network. You can also go watch the game as well. We have the links for that available on the fansportsnetwork.com. So
I will be
catch those as well.
I will be at Desert Hills announcing that game, but I will have Region 10, the Fan Sports Network, on my laptop watching that game too.
Yeah, as you should. As you should.
Yeah, that'll be a good. I'm excited for that Snow Canyon Crimson Cliffs matchup. Both teams are playing really well, and yeah, that should be a good one. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Both,
should be good.
Certainly.
Yeah, definitely going to be some good, exciting matchups that way. Looking at the soccer schedule as well. So there's going to be soccer and baseball going on, soccer, baseball, softball, all at the same schools tonight. So if you have a chance, some of these schools might be the ones to be at. First off, Pineview is at Snow Canyon. Snow Canyon will have just soccer going on. All these are 7 o'clock starts, by the way. Cedar will be at Desert Hills. So Desert Hills is going to be a hot spot for Cedar and Desert Hills. Both teams or both schools having 3 different teams, 3 different games going on.
Going to be busy.
That one's a busy one. And then Hurricane is at Crimson Cliffs. So you'll have Snow Canyon there for baseball, softball. Hurricane will be there for soccer. And definitely going to be a busy night all around Southern Utah with soccer, softball, baseball. It's intense. It's a lot.
On a cold night, Caden.
Yeah.
On a cold night like tonight, what do you think that favors? You think it favors the pitcher, or do you think it favors the hitter?
I think it favors the pitcher.
I do too.
Because I know what it's like to bat in cold weather.
Yeah.
And you get contact and it just hurts.
It hurts sometimes.
It just shakes you
and
to the bone.
And your body might be just a little bit more stiff. Now granted, these kids, they're not stiff. I mean, but regardless, colder weather, your body just doesn't quite move the way that it's supposed to. Now, you can throw that same argument to the pitcher, but the pitcher's always moving.
Yeah.
You know, he's moving all the time, or she's moving all the time, to where they can keep that blood flow a little bit better. You know, the pitcher, the hitter, they get into that batter's box and they're a statue for a minute.
You can shake it a little bit, you know? You can shake a little.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah.
I think it favors the pitcher, too.
I think it favors the pitcher because the thing is, to me, the pitcher's up there staying loose. You know, they have a repetition of motion.
Yep.
And luckily, you know, you are coming out of the batter's box as a hitter, so at least you've been able to take a few swings. You should be okay. But if it is really cold, like I say, you get a little bit of connection, and if you don't have a good tight grip on that bat,
you don't
just
hit the sweet
vibrates.
Spot.
It vibrates those hands. If it hits the handle, I have so many memories.
You definitely
of hitting a ball and it's too cold outside and you just don't have a good sweet spot hit on it.
Yeah, you definitely want to barrel it up and hit the sweet spot so you don't get that vibration, that coldness through your hand. So yeah, but I'm with you. I think it does favor the pitcher. I don't see big scores tonight. Like, you know, with Crimson, you know, they've been putting 10 spots, 15 spots on the board. I don't know if we see that tonight from any team, whether it's Desert Hills, Cedar, Dixie, Pineview, Crimson, or Snow Canyon. I think it's going to be more traditional baseball, maybe a 5-1 win or something like that.
I think so too. I think you're completely right about that. That it could be a little lower, a little lower scoring. Just because, you're probably not hitting too many into gaps.
Right.
So, we'll see though. We'll see what tonight brings. They should be some good matchups though. Should be pretty good matchups tonight. So I'm excited about it.
Me too.
I always love it when we have some good baseball. It's not necessarily great baseball weather. And even for us in Southern Utah, it's hard because I don't want to complain about that. I know how many people would say, hey, I would take 40 degrees in a dry field if it just meant that we had a dry field.
Yeah.
There's plenty of programs across the entire state, if not even the entire country probably at this point, that would be dying to have some good baseball weather.
Just like up north, Cedar North, I don't know how many games they've gotten in, but it can't be many.
No.
In fact, do you have Max Preps open there?
I don't. Let me see if I can grab it.
Or Des News. I was just curious on Region 11, like what their region record is, like how many games they've gotten in, because it can't be much.
Yeah. So it's funny. You go to just like the scores and schedules page.
Yeah.
And you do have some games that are supposed to be going on tonight, but let's go to standings.
Yeah, go to
here.
standings.
And
go to like Region 11 or something.
So Region 1, 6A. Okay. This is Syracuse, Davis, Farmington. So this is like Ogden area, north of Salt Lake. A lot of those big schools. You have 4 ball games. You have 8. That's the most I'm seeing here. And by the way, they came down to Southern Utah. That's Syracuse. They played a tournament down here. 7.
So what's
6.
Do they have a region record yet?
The region records, you have 0-3, you have 3-0, you have 3 games. They've got 3 total games in, which we've had 4. Tonight will be 5.
So what's Region 11?
Region 11. Let's get to
is
Region 11.
Up in Cache Valley. This is 4A.
Logan and Bear River are the only teams to have played region games against each other.
Yeah.
And they've played 3 region games against each other. And Bear River is 3-0. Logan is 0-3. None of the other teams have played.
Really?
Not a single one. Skyview, 0-0. Ridgeline, 0-0. Green Canyon, Mountain Crest, all of them.
Yeah, haven't gotten
not
a
a
region
single
game
in.
Yeah.
You look at Skyview, Mountain Crest has played 3 games total all season.
That was at one of our tournaments here at Desert
Hills. We're sitting here at 14 games apiece right now with our teams. I mean, Desert Hills is 7-7 right now. They've had 14 games. And the team with the most has 7 total.
Yeah.
And that's Ridgeline.
So
and they were down here.
They were
most
down
of those
here
teams were down here.
So as bad as I feel for Cedar City not being able to host games, the teams up north in Cache Valley, they aren't even able to play games. So, my goodness, I guess if you're Cedar City, so Cedar Reds, here's a little free advice, or you can Venmo me, Mark-Musgrave-1. Glass half full. At least you're playing baseball.
At least you're playing baseball.
Yeah, be appreciative to that, I guess. Because like I said, I felt bad for them, and I do still feel bad for Cedar. But, man, at least they get to play. At least they can drive 60 miles south and play here in St. George, play against, the rest of their Region 10 foes.
It's true. Take what you can get.
My goodness, man, those teams up north just aren't even being able to play.
Yeah, they can't even get on a ball field. Well, that's crazy. I'm kind of looking through the entire state right now, and 3 ball games from Mountain Crest, which is in Hiram, Utah. 3 ball games is the least amount that I'm seeing right now. And if I'm just out of curiosity, I'm clicking on Mountain Crest to see who those 3 games were even against.
Well, they were here at Desert Hills. I'm almost positive Mountain Crest was in one of those tournaments.
Yeah, so they played Mountain Ridge, Weber, and Box Elder. And again, it doesn't say where they played them. It very well could have been here at a tournament. But you look at their schedule, and canceled game. They are supposed to be going to a tournament in San Diego just to get games in.
Wow.
So they're supposed to be down there yesterday, but they didn't play a game yesterday, or at least it didn't say they did. It says like there's no stats or anything there. There's supposed to be a game going on right now down in San Diego, so maybe they didn't end up going. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because again, with all the weather, maybe they couldn't
maybe
travel.
They couldn't get out.
Maybe they couldn't get a bus out. So that's the other thing too, is they can't even travel to go play games in places where it is warmer.
Unbelievable.
It's insane.
Well, speaking of San Diego, you brought it up.
What did I bring up?
San Diego.
I did bring up San Diego.
Now, something happened today with the San Diego Padres. Manny Machado, he was rung up on a pitch clock violation, and the count was 3-2. He's in the batter's box, just kind of taking his time. He put the bat, he knocks the dirt off of his cleats. He puts the bat under his armpit and starts, cranking up his batting gloves. All of a sudden, the pitcher and the catcher just walk off the field because the umpire called him out for taking too long. You have 8 seconds.
You got 8
as
seconds.
a batter and as a pitcher. The pitcher was ready to deliver, and Manny Machado was not alert in the batter's box.
It's one of the rules, and he wasn't even close to being.
No,
alert.
he wasn't.
And here's the thing: is I think someone must have yelled in his ear to be like, "Hurry up," or call timeout, because he went to call timeout right as the umpire is calling him for 8 seconds, and then of course he's like, "Hey, I call timeout. I call timeout."
Yeah,
it's like,
do you have that pulled up still, Caden?
I can get it pulled up.
So
quickly.
while you're getting that, I'm just going to read the rule here, and it's really just exactly what I just said. Batters, this is from the actual rule. Batters must be in the box and alert to the pitcher by the 8-second mark, or else be charged with an automatic strike. And he was not alert to the pitcher. Again, the bat was underneath the armpit, and like you said, Caden, he wasn't even close to being ready.
No.
Probably another 5 seconds, maybe.
No, he wasn't close.
You have 8 total.
He wasn't close at all. All right, well, I have it here. Let's check it out.
Part of the season, throwing 2-0 breaking balls, 3-1 breaking balls, even full count breaking balls at times.
That's a strikeout. There's a violation. Ron Culpa just rung up Manny Machado. We're on the clock here this year, and that's an automatic strike, and it happens to be strike 3. Here comes Bob Melvin. Ron Culpa, the crew chief, behind the plate. And somebody's been ejected. Looks like Machado. The inning just ended on a pitch timer violation with Manny Machado at the plate, and now it looks like his day may be done. And now Bob Melvin might have to join him.
And they sit there and argue for a little bit, but hey, this isn't something that they just sprung on them. I mean, this is something that they've talked about for a little while now. For a couple of years, this has been talked about. They went all through spring training with the pitch clock, with all of the new rules in place.
Right.
Now we've gone through opening weekend. We've got some games under our belt. And if, as a pitcher and as a hitter, if you don't know the rules by now, shame on you. Shame on Manny Machado and what he did to his team right there. Now, thankfully, there was nobody on base, so, he didn't really affect his team too bad. I mean, but Manny could have hit a solo shot. He could have got a double gap.
Could have got a walk.
Something.
I think it was the 3-2 count.
It was.
Right?
It was a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. But so shame on him for just being so nonchalant in there, putting the bat under his armpit, and like I said, tightening up his batting gloves. And he, like we just watched it, he was not even close to being ready.
No, he wasn't ready, and you kind of see him just hurry, and he's looking down, he's fixing the gloves, and as he's fixing one, he hurries and throws up the hand of timeout, right as the umpire's standing up to say, no,
you're done.
You're done. This isn't happening right now. Like, sorry, out, strike, and you're out.
And again, some of the old schoolers, which I thought I was, apparently not, though, because I do like the new rules. I like the fact that they want to speed the game up a little bit. Who would have gotten called out all the time is Nomar Garciaparra. I don't know if you've ever watched him before.
Took his
Caden.
sweet time.
Every single pitch, whether he swung the bat or not, he might have just been a statue there watching a ball go by, but he would get out of the box, tighten up all of his stuff again. And I know baseball's a routine sport. I get it. But it's just one of those things where you don't have that luxury anymore. And if you do it, you better do it quickly and get back in the box and get ready to go.
It's true. It's true. You just have to evolve with the game.
Yeah.
The game's evolving with or without you. You might as well step up and I've never understood, and again, it's been so long since I ever played baseball. I played as a kid. I didn't care how my gloves felt, I wasn't up there adjusting them all the time. I just, I get the idea of wanting to adjust your gloves. It doesn't take 8 seconds.
No.
It doesn't take 8 seconds to just go up there and, you take a swing, you don't take a swing, make a quick adjustment, bat's back in your hand, let's go.
Right.
You can do it in 8 seconds. So I find that frustrating. I bet Padre fans are frustrated. I bet you'll have some that are frustrated with the ump. Some are probably frustrated with him being like, come on, dude, you weren't even close.
Yeah.
If you're watching that with open eyes, you can say, hey, yeah, that was on Machado. Sorry, but it was. So, hey, let's take a break. We're going to wrap up the hour coming up next, so stick around with us here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
I was waiting for it. He's
Sorry,
distracted.
Somebody, I was
distracted.
I was distracted. But yes, I'm back. Mentally, physically. Well, I was always here physically. I'm back mentally.
You gotta, this is the one thing about this studio is we are just a little bit more I don't know. We're a little tighter into the hallway to the window over there. So when people walk by, it's very much just like, oh hey.
And I can see it out of my
and I'm
peripheral
direct
vision
on.
here.
The window is straight through right there. So I'm facing it. Anytime anyone walks by, I get a very straightforward peek into it.
Yeah. So somebody like me that is very ADD, squirrel type of personality.
I get that.
Every time I see it, I'm like, hey.
I get that.
Anyways, hey, don't forget though, Masters this weekend. This is one of my favorite weekends of the year for sure. Masters weekend at Augusta. And we have a fantasy foursome that you can text any foursome that you want. It could be the top players in the world, the 4 top players in the world. It can be the 4 favorites to win the Masters. It can be 4 live players if you want to live on the edge. See what I did there? But yeah, just text 4 golfers to our text line at 435-990-9950 along with your name so we know who you are. And you're automatically entered into our Masters Fantasy Foursome. And we're going to give away a lot of golf. A lot of golf over at Coral Canyon. Our friends over at Coral Canyon, Marco and the group over there. So definitely get it in. It'll be fun. It also, just adds a little more flavor to Masters weekend. You'll be rooting for all of your players. Now, here are some tee times and some groupings.
All right, let's hear it out.
So this is for days 1 and 2. Obviously, the times will change on day 2, but group number 1 will feature, I shouldn't say group number 1. A group for round 1 will be Tiger Woods, Victor Hovland, and Xander Schauffele. They will tee off at 8:18 local time. So, again, make sure you have your picks in Wednesday evening. That way you don't have to, scramble and put something together before the first tee time. Another group, Justin Thomas, John Rahm, and Cameron Young. That will be a fun group to watch. They tee off at 8:42 at Augusta. Here's another one. Matt Fitzpatrick, Colin Morikawa, one of my favorites, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
And Will Zalatoris, who I think will also perform very well.
Up there.
They tee off at 11:24 local time. Scotty Scheffler, Max Homa, Sam Bennett, they will tee off at 11:36. Tom Kim, Rory McIlroy, again, one of my favorites. I think Rory can put it together. He's playing such really good golf coming into the Masters. I think that's going to bode well for him. And Sam Burns will finish out that trio. They tee off at 11:48. Here's a good one as well. Some of my favorites, actually 3 of my favorites in this group right here. You've got Jordan Spieth. And it feels like Jordan has won like 5 Masters. He hasn't. He only has the 1, but it feels like he's won like 5. I don't know why.
Just one.
But then Jordan Spieth, Tommy Fleetwood, one of my favorites, and Tony Finau.
Oh, I love Tony. Everyone in Utah should love Tony.
Everybody loves Tony. They tee off at noon local time here in southern Utah. So that's a good group to follow. If you follow the Masters and follow golf, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I was watching a show on Netflix the other day, and maybe you've seen it. I think you have because I think we talked about it. I can't say the actual name of the show on the show, but it has Howie Mandel on it. We'll just call it BS.
Okay,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Anyways, the idea is they have a question. You have to answer confidently, and if you're right, you just get the round and you move on.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, but if you can convince the other people that you're actually right and they believe you, you can still move on. Anyways, one of the questions was about Tommy Fleetwood, and the question was, which of these names is the name of a professional golfer?
Right.
And, they give some random names, and Tommy Fleetwood's on there, and I was like, I know what this is.
Yeah.
None of them knew. They all got it wrong. But whoever was up there did a really good job and was like, yeah, I know who this is. I watch golf all the time. Me and my uncle are really into it. And we watch golf all the time. And I know this guy because whatever. And it was just some random name. He got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
But that was one of those that I'm sitting there just like, oh, I know he's wrong, and I wish I could be there to just say, I know you're wrong.
Right.
Anyways, so now I think of that whenever I hear Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, just a couple of things to kind of look out for at the Masters. Some of the storylines that kind of might lead, that might make great stories, and also some great sports talk.
Yeah.
Scotty Scheffler trying to go back-to-back. Only 3 golfers have ever gone back-to-back at Augusta National, so that's something definitely to keep an eye on. Also, Rory McIlroy, again, talked about him. He's playing really good golf going in to the Masters. You know, I saw a quote that he said. I'm not going to use the quote. I'm going to kind of just spit this out the way I heard it. But he says golf is like, you know, making a pie.
Okay.
He goes, in his deal, he goes, he has all the ingredients. He just needs to put it all together and put it in the oven at the right temperature, and he can win the Masters.
That's fair enough.
Go Rory.
Go Rory, indeed. Masters coming up on Thursday. We're going to be covering a lot of that, too. So stick around with us here on From the Bleachers, covering lots of Masters this week.